Atomic habits. Most people think that to change your life, you need to make massive, monumental changes. You think you need to quit your job, move across the country, or pull 14-hour workdays. But what if I told you that the secret to becoming unrecognizable in a year isn't a giant leap, but a tiny, almost invisible shift? Welcome to Mindflow. Today, we are breaking down James Clear's masterwork, Atomic Habits. This isn't just a book summary. It is your ultimate operating system for life. If you've ever struggled to stick to a diet, save money, or build a business, the problem isn't you. It's your system. Over the next 15 minutes, we're unlocking the 20 core lessons that will help you master the habit loop and get 1% better every single day. Let's dive in. Chapter 1, The Power of Atomic Habits. The Power of Atomic Habits. James Clear coined the phrase atomic for two reasons. First, atomic means infinitely small. Second, it means the source of immense power. Think of it like this. If you can get just 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. $1.01 carat, 365 equals $37.78 Conversely, if you get 1% worse every day, you decline almost down to zero. Small habits don't add up, they compound. But here's the trap, the plateau of latent potential. When you start a habit, you expect progress to be linear. You go to the gym for half a month, look in the mirror, and see nothing. You feel discouraged. But Clear reminds us that habits are like an ice cube sitting in a room that is 26 degrees. You heat it up to 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 degrees, nothing happens. Then you hit 32 degrees. Suddenly, the ice melts. The breakthrough wasn't caused by that last degree. It was stored from all the work done before. Chapter 2, How Habits Shape Your Identity. How habits shape your identity. Most people fail at change because they focus on what they want to achieve, the outcomes. They say, I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to be rich. These are outcome-based habits. The real secret is to build identity-based habits. Instead of focusing on what you want to achieve, focus on who you wish to become. Imagine two people turning down a cigarette. The first person says, no thanks, I'm trying to quit. They still identify as a smoker trying to be healthy. The second person says, no thanks, I'm not a smoker. A tiny shift in language, but a massive shift in identity. Your behaviors are usually a reflection of your identity. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. Chapter 3, Build Better Habits in 4 Steps. Build better habits in 4 steps. How exactly does a habit form? The brain builds habits through a continuous feedback loop consisting of 4 simple steps. Cue, craving, response, and reward. 1. The cue asterisk triggers your brain to initiate behavior, e.g., your phone buzzes. 2. The craving asterisk, the motivational force behind the habit. You don't crave the habit itself. You crave the change in state it brings, e.g., you want to feel connected or entertained. 3. The response asterisk, the actual habit or action you perform, e.g., you pick up the phone. 4. The reward asterisk, the end goal of every habit, which satisfies the craving, e.g., you see a funny meme. If any of these 4 steps are missing, a habit will never form. Chapter 4, The Habit Loop. The Habit Loop. This 4-step process isn't something that happens occasionally. It's an endless loop running every second of your life. To change your life, you must learn to manipulate this loop. To create a good habit, you must make the cue obvious, the craving attractive, the response easy, and the reward satisfying. To break a bad habit, you do the exact opposite. Make the cue invisible, the craving unattractive, the response difficult, and the reward unsatisfying. Chapter 5, Best Way to Start a New Habit. The best way to start a new habit. Hundreds of studies show that motivation is highly overrated. What people lack isn't motivation, it's clarity. The single best way to start a new habit is by using an implementation intention. Don't just say, I'm going to work out more. Instead, use this exact formula. I will run at Canada Park in Toronto. For example, asterisk, I will meditate for 5 minutes at 7 a.m. in my living room. Asterisk, this removes all decision fatigue. and tells your brain exactly when and where to act. But
Chapter
months
6.
pass. Environment
Sometimes
over
years.
motivation. The recognition
Environment
never
over
comes.
motivation.
The environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. We think we choose our actions, but we often just react to our surroundings. If you walk into your living room and all the couches face the television, what are you going to do? Watch TV. If you want to practice guitar more, don't keep it hidden away in a dark closet. Put it right in the middle of your living room. If you want to drink more water, place fresh bottles in every room of the house. Design your environment so that the cues for your best habits are sitting directly in front of your face. Chapter 7. The Secret of Self-Control. The Secret of Self-Control. Here is a hard truth. Disciplined people don't have magical willpower. The secret of self-control is that they simply spend less time in tempting situations. It's far easier to practice avoidance than avoidance resistance. If you can't get any work done because your phone keeps distracting you, don't leave it next to your keyboard and try to ignore it. Put it in another room entirely. If you want to stop eating junk food, don't buy at the store hoping you'll have the willpower to ignore it in your pantry. Make the cue invisible, and self-control becomes effortless. Chapter 8. How to make a habit irresistible. How to make a habit irresistible. This brings us to the second law. Make it attractive. Enter temptation bundling. Our brains are hardwired to chase dopamine. Temptation bundling works by linking an action you need to do with an action you want to do. For example, if you love watching Netflix but hate doing laundry, create a rule. You're only allowed to watch your favorite Netflix show while folding clothes. By anchoring a needed habit to a highly attractive reward, your brain starts anticipating the dopamine hit, making a habit irresistible. Chapter 9. The Role of Family and Friends. The role of family and friends. Humans are pack animals. We desperately want to fit in, to bond, and to earn the respect of our peers. Because of this, we naturally adopt the habits of the culture surrounding us. If you want to build good habits, the most effective strategy is to join a culture where your desired behavior is already considered the normal, everyday standard. If you want to read more books, join a book club. If you want to get in shape, hang out with people who naturally track their macros and hit the gym. Peer pressure can be your greatest asset if you select the right peers. Chapter 10. How to find and fix causes of your bad habits. How to find and fix causes of your bad habits. Every bad habit is just a superficial solution to an underlying emotional craving, usually anxiety, stress, or boredom. Smoking relieves stress. Scrolling social media satisfies a desire for social connection. To fix this, reframe your mind by highlighting the benefits of avoiding a bad habit and change your internal language. Don't say, "I have to go run today." Say, "I get to build my cardiovascular strength today." Change your mindset. Change your cravings. The
Chapter
presentation
11.
you deliver.
Walk slowly,
the
but
difficult
never
conversation
backward.
you handle.
Walk slowly,
the
but
idea
never
you
backward.
confidently shared.
There's a massive
Leadership isn't
difference
judged
between
by
being
everything
emotion
you do
and taking
it's
action.
judged by
Being
what
in
people
motion
remember.
looks like researching a diet plan, reading gym reviews, and buying new shoes. It feels like work, but it's actually a form of procrastination because you aren't risking failure. Action, on the other hand, is laced with risk. It's actually stepping into the gym and lifting a weight. Don't spend all your time preparing. Practice beats planning every single time. Chapter 12. The Law of Least Effort. The Law of Least Effort. Human energy is precious, and your brain is evolutionarily wired to conserve it. We naturally gravitate toward the option that requires the least amount of work. Therefore, you must friction-proof your good habits. If you want to go to the gym in the morning, pack your gym bag and lay your clothes out right next to your bed the night before. Reduce the friction to start your good habits, and increase the friction for your bad habits by making them take extra steps. Chapter 13. How to stop procrastinating. How to stop procrastinating. When starting a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. This is a 2-minute rule. If you want to read a book a week, don't try to read a whole chapter. Just read 1 page. If you want to run a marathon, just put on your running shoes and step outside. The point is not to do the whole task. The point is to master the art of showing up. A habit must be established before it can be improved. You can't optimize a habit that doesn't exist. Chapter 14. How to make good habits inevitable. How to make good habits inevitable.
Sometimes relying on psychology is enough. You need an ironclad system. This is where a commitment device comes in. A commitment device is a choice you make in the present that locks in your good behavior for the future. Want to stop eating junk food at midnight? Buy an automated kitchen safe with a timer that locks away your snacks until morning. Want to ensure you save money? Set up an automatic transfer that sends 10% of your paycheck directly into an investment account the second it lands. Make your good choices automated and inevitable. Chapter 15. The Cardinal Rule of Behavior Change. The cardinal rule of behavior change. The fourth law is simple. Make it satisfying. Our brains evolved in an immediate return environment. Thousands of years ago, if you hunted an animal, you ate it immediately. But modern society is a delayed return environment. You work today, but you don't get paid until 2 weeks from now. Because our biology prefers immediate rewards, you need to attach a tiny, immediate treat to your good habits. Give yourself a small win immediately after completing a difficult task to train your brain to want to do it again. When your manager
16,
thinks about who deserves
how to
the
stick
next
with good
leadership
habits
role
every day.
they aren't replaying
How to stick with good
every
habits
task you
every
completed.
day.
The best way to
key
visualize your
moments.
progress is with a habit tracker. Crossing a day off on a calendar creates a visual cue of your hard work and provides an instant hit of satisfaction. But life happens. You get sick, you travel, or you have a late night. When you inevitably drop the ball, remember the ultimate rule: never miss twice. Missing 1 day is an accident. Missing 2 days is the start of a brand new, bad habit. Even if you can only do a terrible 2-minute version of your habit on a bad day, show up anyway. Keep the streak alive. How an accountability partner can change everything, asterisk, asterisk. How an accountability partner can change everything. Just as an immediate reward makes a habit stick, an immediate consequence makes a bad habit vanish. Create a habit contract. Find an accountability partner, a friend, your spouse, or a mentor, and write down a binding agreement. For example, asterisk, if I miss a single day of writing my book, I have to pay my partner $50. Asterisk, the immediate psychological dread of losing money or facing social embarrassment will instantly override your desire to procrastinate. Chapter 18. The Truth About Talent. The truth about talent. The secret to maximizing your habits is to choose the right field of competition. Genes do not eliminate the need for hard work. They clarify it. They tell you where to work hard. If you are 7 feet tall, your biology gives you an immense advantage in basketball, but a severe disadvantage in gymnastics. If you want to win, build habits in areas that align perfectly with your natural talents and strengths. If you can't find a game where the odds are stacked in your favor, create a new one tailored specifically to your unique mix of skills. Chapter 19. The Goldilocks Rule. The Goldilocks Rule. How do you stay motivated over the long haul? Human beings experience peak motivation when working on tasks that are right on the edge of their current abilities. Not too hard, not too easy. Just right. This is the Goldilocks Rule. If a task is too easy, you get bored and quit. If it's too hard, you get anxious and quit. But if it's just 4% beyond your current skill level, it triggers a state of deep focus called flow. Constantly tweak your habits so they remain slightly challenging but completely manageable. Chapter 20. The Downside of Creating Good Habits. The downside of creating good habits. Habits are wonderful because they automate your actions, allow you to think without thinking. But the downside of habits is that they can make you blind to small errors. When you can do something on autopilot, you stop thinking about how to do it better. Habits plus deliberate practice equals mastery. Don't let your habits become your identity to the point where you refuse to adapt. How to review your habits. To counteract the autopilot trap, you must build a system for reflection and review. James Clear recommends doing an annual review at the end of every year and an integrity report every 6 months. Ask yourself 3 simple questions. 1. What went well this year? 2. What didn't go well? 3. What did I learn, and how can I refine my identity moving forward? Reviewing keeps your awareness sharp and ensures your habits continue serving your grand vision. Summary of 20 lessons. So, let's bring it all together. Becoming 37 times better in a single year isn't about massive, overnight transformations. It's about building a bulletproof system. Focus on identity over outcomes. Make your cues obvious, your cravings attractive, your responses easy, and your rewards satisfying. Track your habits. Never miss twice. Set up a commitment device and stay on the razor-thin edge of the Goldilocks zone. Remember, true success is not a goal to be reached or a finish line to be crossed. It is a system to improve, an endless process to refine. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Get out there, change your environment, and start tracking that 1% win today. If you found value in this deep dive, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and join the 1% community. Leave a comment below with the one tiny habit you are starting tomorrow morning. See you in the next video.